que empezar de cero, hacerle decir que he pasado la vida sin saber que la espero, no, sin que me pida mamá más grande más, sin que me pida. Es capaz de nadar en el mar más profundo, igual que un superhéroe de salvar al mundo, donde rompen las olas, salva una caracola. Ojalá que me despierte y no busque razones. Ojalá que empezara de cero, hacerle decir que he pasado la vida sin saber que la espero, no, sin que me pida mamá más, dame más, sin que me pida. Si te vas, quedo en esta calle sin salida, oh, sin salida, que este bar está cansado ya de despedidas, oh, despedidas.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Hi everyone. Sorry, I was taking out my rice just now. Waalaikumsalam, Kak Lia. Hi Ida, Jam. Welcome everyone. I was just taking out my rice because I was cooking earlier. So just to show you the benefit of cooking rice with a Thermomix. So this is just normal rice. I asked my ketua keluarga to buy parwal basmati and he just grabbed the first brand that he saw. But still, look at my rice. It's still very nice. See? Doesn't matter what brand of rice you use. If you cook with a Thermomix, you will get beautiful fluffy rice like this. Cantik kan? So, terlepas lah ketua keluarga kali ini. And then, I'm gonna show you the water that is left behind if we are using a rice cooker. Then all of this starch will be absorbed back into the rice and you will be eating that starch. So are you ready to see how much starch is in your rice water? Can you see that? Can you see that? That is all the starch you take 3 times a day with rice. So cook rice with your Thermomix today and get rid of this excess starch. Okay. So let's get started. Today I am going to show you something a bit different in the sense that all this while I've been talking about Cookie Dough, which is Thermomix's recipe platform which features 57,000 recipes and counting, and we are adding to that periodically. So wonderful. Baru ni ada tambah Asian flavor mixes which features stuff like sambal belacan, tom yum paste, Thai curry paste, macam-macam paste yang ada kat situ. Lepas tu we had Asian kneading which had roti canai, pao sambal, golden pillow which is the huge golden bun which is filled with curry inside. It's so wonderful. And then the latest one is of course the Asian heritage cupcakes. So these recipes keep adding up to Cookie Dough. So that is one where you get guided cooking and the recipes keep increasing. And the other one, I've been showing you also manually how you can use the Thermomix. You look at a recipe maybe from the recipe community, online recipe community. We have that also now, more than 7,000 recipes. Today I'm going to show you that there are also cookbooks. By Thermomix for Thermomix. So this is one of them, one of my favorites. It's called Tasty Asia. And today we are going to do two dishes from here. One is called chicken korma or cashew chicken. And it doesn't use the rempah, the ready-made spice. We are going to cook from scratch and we are going to use real cashew nuts. So it should be good. It's my first time to try it, so we will explore this together. It's an adventure together. At the same time, I'm going to cook stir-fried French beans. The original recipe is dried shrimp, but as we were prepping the ingredients, my kids helped me today. I couldn't find any dried shrimp. And so I looked quickly, you know, if you look at every Thermomix recipe, it will have tips at the bottom. And I saw here that we can replace dried shrimp with minced meat. I didn't have minced beef, but I do have chicken breast, so that's what I used instead. I sliced very thinly because I wanted to kind of match the French beans. And then I saw also there's another tip. You can add shredded carrots to make the dish more colorful. So it's good to see all those tips. You will also see these tips when you look at cookie dough recipes. Okay? Are you all ready? Shall we start cooking? Okay, kita start. So I'm gonna cook over here the chicken, and then later on as it starts to cook, because chicken takes about 14 minutes to cook, I'm gonna cook the veggie over here, okay? And one more thing, kalau tak perasan you all, hari ni kita pakai ala-ala baju raya. Walaupun tak sempat nak beli baju raya, tapi nak tunjuk je, bila kita masak dengan Thermomix, you can be dressed nicely, ready to go to a party, ready to go to work, ready to go for solat raya. Hopefully tahun ni sempat lah kan. Hopefully coronavirus banner dah tak ada, so that we can have solat raya. You can be dressed to the nines and still cook with a Thermomix. Sounds good? Okay, let's get started. So the first step is, of course, to prep all the ingredients. The ingredients, as usual, are listed here in detail and all in grams or teaspoons or tablespoons. So I have them prepped also. This is also a good idea for you if you're working. You can prep it. Maybe, you know, bangun pagi subuh tu kan, budak-budak belum bangun. We can prep and then we keep in the fridge. So balik kerja, kita boleh masak terus. Or maybe malam-malam, again when the kids are all asleep and settled, kita prep ingredients kita for the next day. So it helps a lot. Then we can, you know, boleh susun dekat fridge tu. So by the time kita nak masak tu, dah siap dah semua. Apa tu? Feeling chef lah kan? Mise en place. Everything is in place. Okay, so first step, we have our roasted cashew nuts and water. And we're gonna preheat 8. So I've got my cashew nuts here. I already roasted in the oven earlier. And I have my water. So we just open this up. I don't need to wait anymore. Okay, I just show lah siapa yang baru, yang tak pernah tengok Thermomix. Those who've never seen Thermomix before, Thermomix is an integrated weighing scale. Nampak kan? So if it's not 0, you just tap on there and it resets to 0. And then we put in our ingredients. Tu dia timbang. Cantik. Okay, it's very sensitive, so when the fan is on, it kind of moves a bit. But I already weighed this beforehand, so I know the weight is okay. Okay, so it says the cashew nuts and the water. So kita masukkan je. And then 30 seconds speed 8. No temperature needed here because it's gonna make a puree only. So kita pun pergi dekat home, kita swipe macam main-main handphone je. 30 seconds. Ya Allah, Mimi pun dah start masak, tak cakap welcome pun. Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of Quick and Easy Cooking with Mimi. Today we are cooking, to those who just joined us, we're cooking korma chicken or chicken with cashews and stir-fried French beans. Sorry, lupa, dah excited sangat, banyak benda nak cerita. Okay, 30 seconds, speed 8. Very bad sound, okay. that sound means it's done with whatever step it's doing. So just like what I did, because I saw, then I just tap on it to make the sound stop. Because I saw a comment from Tina Rina Sanip. How's the sound now? I turn off the fan. Is it better? I hope you can hear me better. Okay, so that alarm, we can, that's the nice thing about Thermomix, we can leave it, it moves on its own, and when it's done, oh wow, our cashew nut puree is very nice. Okay, and when it's done, it calls us to tell us, hey, I'm done, come back here, stop whatever it is you're doing, and get back to your cooking. So I'm just gonna scrape this, because the instruction says to put it in a bowl. So of course it helps before you cook that you take a look at the steps so that you get a prior idea of what you're going to cook. Okay. And as usual, the chicken is inside the fridge. It's part of safe food handling procedure. Uncooked chicken shouldn't be left outside at room temperature. It should always be inside the fridge. Same thing when you want to defrost meat or seafood, you should also do it inside the fridge. Okay, so now we've scraped it and it says transfer to a bowl and set aside, and to clean the mixing bowl. So again, because we have a TM6, the latest model of Thermomix, the 9th generation in the entire 60 years of Thermomix, we are going to do pre-clean, which is only a simple matter of putting water and activating the pre-clean function. So water up to 1 liter mark. It can be slightly less than 1 liter because if you cover just above the blades, that's around 600 grams or 600 ml. Water is the same whether in grams or ml. And then maximum would be 1 liter. So I'm just going to scrape the rest of the cashew nut puree, because cashew nuts, they add such a wonderful flavor to a dish, and also the texture and the consistency. Plus they are not exactly cheap. Sayang kan, we don't want to waste any food. So the spatula is a great help because it can scrape almost all of it, so it's very good. And then we just activate our pre-clean function now, which is right here, and then we just turn on the button and the Thermomix will figure out the rest for us, how long it takes and everything else. Meanwhile, I can check the rest of my recipe, and I see that it wants me to take all of my spices and my cooking oil. How's the sound, Tina? Still no sound from your end? Hi, Sachin. Nadia, welcome. Hello, Mariam. How are you today? Murni and Mas, welcome. Okay. So it's cleaning now. Sambil dia cuci, it's also heating up the water. So bayangkan if you are, say, if you cook, for example, sambal, so it's gonna pull all of the oil. How's the sound now? Is it better? Panas. So nak pasang kipas. Sorry ya. Berpeluh bukan sebab masak, tapi sebab tak ada kipas. Okay, then after this, we're gonna put, okay, dah sudah. I'll show you now our after pre-cleaning, dia macam mana. So, kalau if you just had your nails done, you don't have to worry about washing too much. So, it's quite clean now. I'm just gonna dump the water and rinse it. It doesn't have to be like perfectly squeaky clean because we'll be cooking the same thing. You just have to remove most of the cashew puree. Okay, so we've got our bowl now, and then we're going to proceed with the next step, which is to put all of our fresh ingredients inside. We have garlic cloves, we have ginger. We just cut like this, the whole piece of ginger. It's supposed to be green chilies, but I don't have green chilies, so I'm just gonna use red chilies. And up to you if you can take the heat. You don't even have to remove the seeds. Actually, the heat is not in the seeds itself, tapi dia punya tangkai itu, the middle portion which holds the seeds. That's where the heat is. So if you want the flavor of the chili but not the spice, not the spiciness, the heat, then you can de-seed your chili. And then of course our onions, as long as the onions can go through the mixing bowl lid around this size, then we're good to go. You don't have to slice it any smaller. So if you have small onions, you just peel and then you put in. In fact, my teammate this morning, Afiza, she showed us how to peel onions using the Thermomix. So we're just gonna dump the whole thing here and then chop it for 20 seconds on speed 8. So we are not cooking yet, so we will not be activating the temperature. So we just set, sorry about that, we only set the speed, which is the time first. It always starts with time, and you can either tap using your fingers or you can tap using the selector button. You can see it activates. So now it activates the time. We're gonna put 20 seconds on the clock. We don't need any temperature because we are chopping for now, and then we're gonna go to speed 8. And the moment we put the speed, it's gonna turn on. Done. Let's look at our spices. Oh, beautiful. Without even adding water, and it's such a wonderful consistency. Okay, and now the next thing is to add our cooking oil, which would be 40 grams only. I just love the weighing scale function. It simplifies life so much. So we want 40 grams. So that's very little oil, about 4 tablespoons. Okay, and then we just have to scrape down our spices. So it looks like this now. And we're just gonna scrape it down. Scrape down means we just push it down like this so that we can saute it. That's all. Very simple. Okay, and remember, if you want to knock your spatula against your bowl, do it when it's outside of the base, because we don't want to compromise our weighing scale. And now we're gonna saute it for 5 minutes. And sauteing is always 120 speed 1. Okay. And as you can see, it automatically locks while it's cooking. So convenient. That's part of the safety feature. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. I've got my spatula. The oil is done. And then next would be the cashew puree, which I already have here. We have some, oh no, not yet. After the cooking oil, we're gonna add ground cinnamon, ground coriander, ground cumin, and ground turmeric. Oh, I missed out the cardamom pods. 4 biji. Hang on. So cinnamon is of course kayu manis. Coriander is serbuk ketumbar. And then cumin is jintan putih. And turmeric is of course kunyit. Okay, serbuk kunyit tu serbuk semua. Dia ada sukatan dia semua, kita ikut je. So tak payah beli lagi dah all the spices. This is the nice thing about Thermomix. For example, about a few weeks ago I was trying out Cajun chicken. I was like, Cajun seasoning tu apa? And then so I search in Cookie Dough, recipe ni ada. So buat. Lepas tu there's another recipe for some Arab punya spice mix. Recipe for the spice mix pun ada. So it saves us a lot of money. We don't have to buy all those things which we rarely use. We just keep the more common spices, and then we can mix our own as and when we need it. so it's even fresher also, so it's very nice. So now we want cardamom, 4 pods. My kids call these bombs because they add flavor to the dishes, but if you accidentally bite on them, they're not exactly pleasant to bite into. Okay, so we have these, and then I'm gonna get my chicken, which is in the fridge. The original recipe actually says 500 to 600 grams of chicken breast fillets. But again, because this is MCO time, movement control order, so I didn't have any. And I was like, do I go ahead or not? Again, I looked at the tips, and the tips said you can replace chicken breast with a whole kilo of whole chicken legs with skin and bone cut into pieces. And we just adjust the cooking time in step 5. So that's when you are looking at any Thermomix recipe, always look at the tips because it's going to give you all of these nuggets of information. At the same time, if you want to know the nutritional information, it's all available at the bottom. So like this one, it says it's an easy dish, it's 4 portions, and each portion will have 444 calories, 40 grams of protein, 15 grams of carbs, and 24 grams of fat. So no need to get extra apps to keep track of your nutritional information or whatever you're taking in. You can easily refer to the cookbook or to Cookie Do recipe. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my chicken right now from the fridge. Hi Kamla. Hi Cashew. So for those who are just joining in, today we are making chicken korma or cashew chicken, and we are using the spices from scratch. We are not buying the pre-made mix, and we're actually using cashew nuts, which I have roasted earlier and turned into a puree. And then, wangi dah. All the spices I put in earlier, the garlic, the chili, the ginger. It's a very nice aroma. And you can see it's sauteing here, and I can actually have a seat here and, you know, do the bersila, sitting pretty. If I have a fan, I can do a fan like that. This is the beauty of Thermomix cooking. So I can look at your comments, I can answer any questions. Hello Mas, I'm happy to hear that. Hi Shauna, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. Inshallah, when this MCO is over, you and me, we need to see each other for coffee and cake, okay? You're welcome to come to my house also. Okay, so now we can see the time. It's 30 seconds. That's when, you know, because you know exactly the time, then you can plan your cooking accordingly. You can plan your activities accordingly. Like for example, if the sauteing time is 5 minutes, then okay, then you know you have enough time to go quickly to the loo and make wudu. If say it's asar and you haven't prayed asar yet, it's already 6:30 for example. So you can plan accordingly. And even if you forget about it, no worries. It's gonna cut off the heating and it will shut down by itself. And as you can see, I'm in my white kitchen. It's been the same white since I had the cabinets installed. I don't have a hood here, and I'm cooking with my Thermomix here. Okay, in fact, I have some friends, they were contacting me earlier while I was prepping. And I showed them pictures, you know, that I'm really cooking here. And maybe, of course, it's not as neat as now, but I cook here, exactly. So now, it's time for us to put in our spice mix, yeah, our cinnamon, our coriander, all ground, and then the cumin. Cumin is such a wonderful aroma. And then we're gonna put in here together with the cardamom pods. Oh, you want to see the spices? This is how it looks like, beautiful. It's not burned at all. Oh, the aroma is so wonderful. And then we just dump in all the spices in here. Super duper easy. And then it says here it's gonna saute for 3 minutes. Again, saute, tak payah hafal, you don't have to memorize. It's always 120°C. Speed 1. Okay, and after this we're gonna add our cashew nuts, chicken, we have yogurt also. Very interesting dish. Yogurt and salt. I've got my pink Himalayan rock salt here. and also the chicken. Up to you if you want to keep some of the skin on or if you want to remove it, it's fine. Okay. Oh, tip, best served with naan bread. Oh, yo, I missed this one. Otherwise, I would have made naan bread at the same time. Okay, so, oh, hi, Judy. Welcome. What time is it in Sydney right now? Must be +5, is it? Oh my goodness, it's quite late for you. You're staying up late. So today we are making here korma, ayam korma. Maybe you're missing this one also. I know you miss Malaysian food. So this one you don't have to fret about not having your korma spice. I always thought korma is ayam korma is like korma dates, but apparently it's something else. And you don't have to buy that separately now, as long as you have your basics, which is cinnamon, coriander, cumin. They appear quite frequently in a lot of recipes, so it's worth getting those. So I'm so happy. When I was younger, I used to dream of all those spices, like, you know, lined up. And then when I got older, I was so busy working that it made no sense. I would buy one spice and then it would take me more than a year, and sometimes I don't even use it. But now I'm so happy I can refill and I can line them up alphabetically, so it's easy to find when I'm cooking. Okay. And while I'm talking, it's sauteing away, and over here it already shut down because it was more than 15 minutes since we started. So I'm actually going to start it up here so that we can prepare for our next dish, which is stir-fried French beans, which, as I mentioned earlier, was supposed to be with dried prawns, dried shrimp, but when I checked my freezer, I don't have it anymore. So I looked at the tips, and the tip said we can replace with minced meat, so I'm replacing it with minced chicken. Okay, so once again, as I mentioned earlier also, I'm showing a new way of cooking with Thermomix, which is using some of these cookbooks. So this is one of them, and then, oh, this is the latest one. Just to show you some of it, there's 3-in-1 cooking. This is also very nice because if you're cooking for a large crowd, it's got 3 dishes in one go, and you're using everything. You're using the varoma, you're using the steaming basket, you're using the mixing bowl, and you get so much cooked in one sitting. It's really a lot because even for my 6 kids, my mom, my husband, we are not able to finish it. This is a very, very wonderful book, also newly released. And then we also have Spoonfuls of Love. If you have children, this is wonderful. From the time they start eating solid food until they get bigger, this is a very good resource. Okay, and that sound means we are going ahead to the next step, which is to add the rest of the ingredients. So I'm just going to show you again. This is our spice, so beautiful. The aroma is so wonderful. It's like stepping into an Indian restaurant, I suppose. Okay, so, and then I always follow the recipe as is listed in the recipe book, which is the cashew puree first. That's a quick tip for you also. Whenever you see the recipe for Thermomix and the ingredients are listed in a certain order, it's usually for a reason. So like we are making mihon, and the mihon recipe says to put in the cabbage, and then after you put in the cabbage, only then you put in the mihon. It's for a reason. So you follow that order, yeah? And then you have the chicken. Okay, this is another tip for you. When you are putting a whole chicken, you put in the parts with bones, like wings. Okay? And then if you can find drumstick, you put in the drumstick, and even putting in the neck. The neck is fine. Yeah, and then the drumstick. Okay, do not put the breast part at the bottom because it might get stuck in the blade. Okay, so another tip for me today, very useful, and then you put the meaty parts on top. There you go. So even though I'm not using all thigh meat, not thigh. And then I'm just gonna wash my hands very quickly. This is me when I cook. I'm always washing my hands, even without coronavirus, always washing. So now we have the yogurt. Oh, and another quick tip also, like right now we are cooking with some turmeric powder, right? Kunyit, serbuk kunyit. Or maybe you are cooking ayam masak lemak, which has kunyit also. Kunyit or turmeric, it tends to stain your lid. So your lid will turn yellow like this. If it happens to you, don't worry. Very simple solution. All you have to do is to put it under the sun and it will turn back to this color. Yeah, okay. Just that this one, I didn't have time to do it today, so it's yellow. So you see how it looks like. But then if you put it under the sun, it's a very green machine. That's another tip for you. Okay, and now all we have to do is to cook this for 15 minutes while I do my veggie over here. Okay. Actually, because this chicken, I know from this chicken it can be, okay. And then 120C reverse speed spoon. And we just follow the instructions. So reverse speed spoon. And then I can clean this up. And I can get the ingredients for my other dish. So that one's done, so easy. Oh, okay. Do you have time like DST, daylight savings time, Judy? Oh, only 2 hours difference. That's nice. Okay, so now I can leave this now. So if I'm not doing this live, I'll just walk away. Maybe I'll go lie down on the couch and catch up on my Netflix, or maybe I'll sit here and answer emails, or maybe I'll prep the next ingredient. Something like that. That's life with a Thermomix. So if you want one, I've got ready stock right now. If you're living somewhere in KL, Ampang, Melawati, Uluklang, Cheras, Gombak, this area, give me a tinkle, give me a buzz, PM me or WhatsApp me 011-1144-1145 011-1144-1145. Grab the stocks now while it's available, because it's really selling like hotcakes. Because 1, MCO has been extended, and 2, Ramadan is coming in less than 2 weeks. So if you are fasting, now you can imagine what life in Ramadan is like. You'll be cooking like this, and you can sit here with your mushaf, boleh habiskan baca Quran. And then you can speed up a bit so that during the time of the month when you cannot read, you're already far ahead and you can make up for it later very easily. Okay, so while this is cooking, we start with our veggie now. Stir-fried French beans. Spatula with dried shrimp, we ignore the dried shrimp. Okay, so the first step is actually to weigh the French beans, which I've already done. And then we put in our garlic cloves and dried shrimp. Because I don't have dried shrimp, I'm going to replace it with my chicken. So my garlic cloves. No, I don't want to chop my chicken, so I'm just going to put my garlic and add the chicken later. 5 seconds, speed 6. That means very finely. So 5 seconds, speed 6. Then I'll take another spatula for this dish, so they're not mixed up. So fast, 5 seconds. Okay. And then it says to scrape down and to add red chili and cooking oil. So I've got my red chili. Up to you how you want to slice it. I just thought, you know, it would look nice. I was taught by my late grandmother. She used to cook for our kampong, you know, like when they have this kenduri and stuff, they would call her to cook. And this is one of the things that she taught me, even when I couldn't cook yet. And she told me that it's always nice for food to be more or less the same. They look almost the same. So we're cooking with beans, so your carrots must also be long and thin. And you make your chili about the same thing. Because there are two things. One, visually it looks nice because they look quite the same. And secondly, they will cook uniformly. So that's another tip for you. So we put in our chili. And also our chicken, which I didn't chop because I'm fine with it. Up to you. Again, it actually calls for minced meat, but I didn't have minced meat, so I'm using chicken breast. And then just remember, we're supposed to scrape down the bowl. I'm gonna add cooking oil, which is only 30 grams, very little. So I'll activate the weighing scale and I'll put in 30 grams. Okay. And then scrape down and saute it for 4 minutes. Again, remember when I say saute, do you remember what's the setting? Only the time will change depending on what you're sauteing, but the setting on the temperature and the speed is always the same. And even if you don't remember, no problem. Once you get your TM6, your Thermomix, I will teach you everything from A to Z. Okay, so this one is 4 minutes. 120C. And speed 1. Okay. So sauteing at speed 1, it won't harm your chicken, no problem. It will just fly like that. It's like, you know, like cooking with a wok like that. The only difference is that I can sit down, wear my nice light blue tudung without an apron. Okay, and imagine, you know, like you are reading something here and you have your drink, maybe your dalgona coffee. So nice. Okay, so after this, all we need to do is to add our beans and our carrots. That's the nice thing. We don't have to figure out which one goes first. Oh, I left out one chili and I'm gonna put it in. So nice, eh? So you don't have to worry. Do I put in the carrot first or the beans first? No, it just says add carrots in step 3, which is including the French beans. So no worries there. Even if you've never cooked veggie before, maybe your teenage son who's going to university, or your daughter who's going for her master's or her PhD overseas, this is the best gift for them. You never have to worry again, is my child eating properly or not? Ada makanan halal ke tak? Are they eating a balanced meal? You send this with them and they can have all the food that they miss. They can easily make nasi lemak, they can make their curries, you know, and you can just send them all the dried spices that are not available there locally. So it makes life so much easier. And you know, you can even swap recipes. Maybe your son or your daughter can explore something new and then send you the recipe and tell you, Mom, check out this link. I tried this yesterday, it's so good. And it's something else, you know, it's a different way of bonding over food. And I've always, you know, associated a lot of memories with food. I'm sure all of you have some memory associated with food. Like you eat something, a particular food, and you are like transported back to your childhood. Mesti ada kan? So that's why food is so powerful. It's so important. It brings people together, and you know, when we're happy, we always eat together. When we are sad, we seek comfort in food. That's the power of food and the memories that come with food. So this is part of the reason why I strove to be able to cook better, because now I like to think that one day when I'm no longer here, my children hopefully will tell their children, my grandchildren, you know, when we were small, Mama used to bake bread for us every day. And that becomes part of their memory of me, and I like to think that they will remember me that way. So maybe now, you know, sometimes, I know, I'm just a harassed working mom like you all. You know, once in a while we feel underappreciated and overworked and unpaid. But when I think about it, we're not just cooking, we're not just feeding our families, we are also creating memories. And I like that thought a lot. I hope that will give you some cheer in this troubling times. You know, we don't know, are we going back to work as usual? Will the shops be open again soon? Are we going to the mosque for Tarawih? Are we going to have Eid prayer? You know, those sort of things. We don't know. We don't know. We just take one day at a time, and remember, we are here with our loved ones now. Let's make the most of this time. Let's make memories together. Do something together, maybe make some drink or ice cream or cook something new and just have fun, you know, just be silly about it, and create memories. Yes, exactly. Let's create memories together, just as I'm creating memories with you. One day I won't be here, but maybe some of you, the younger ones, will remember. Oh, I remember this auntie. She used to say whenever we cook, she said she learned from her grandmother, we try to make them all uniform. See? So you never know. Okay, so we're done. Sorry, old auntie here talking about so many memories. And all I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you, smells so good, our chicken and our chili. And I'm just going to dump in our veggie. As usual, it's just dump and walk away. So we dump in our veggie, which I've already washed, which my children washed and prepped for me. Thank you, kids. And then I'm putting in a bit of chicken stock, which I made myself as usual, and also a bit of Himalayan rock salt. Okay, and I'm just going to sprinkle it. There's no water even. And then we stir fry it for 4 minutes 30 seconds. 4 minutes. Kalau terlepas tak apa, you can always reverse. That happens to me also sometimes. And then 120°. Just follow the recipe. And then reverse. And speed spoon. So the speed goes from spoon, like you are stirring the food with a wooden spoon, 40 RPM, 40 revolutions per minute, and then it will go to 0.5, it will go to 1, 1.5, all the way to speed 10. And there's a separate button for turbo. Okay, and then, yeah, for those who are new to Thermomix, when it says reverse, that means we are changing the direction of the blade, because the blade looks like this. One side is sharp, one side is blunt. So when it's turning clockwise, it's chopping or cutting. And when we reverse it, it's using the blunt side of the blade to stir our food. And this is how I can leave my cooking. I don't have to do anything. I can close my cookbook now. I can sit here, I can grab myself a drink and answer your questions and comments. This is the life with the Thermomix. Okay, hi Shaz! Maya, welcome. Waalaikumsalam. Kak Rohaya. Hi Evelyn. Honey, you're joining us today. How nice. Hi Liza. Baking apa hari ni? Okay, so just to share with you, this is also one reason why I love this cookbook a lot is it has the Thai style steamed fish, which is very very good, and my husband says kala lah Thai restaurant dekat KLCC tu. And then they have the stir fried beef with capsicum. Dia ada kari dia sedap. Ni kari dia sedap. Very nice curry recipe. And this one, all time favorite. You can see from the page it's been used a lot. It's Thai steamed fish with lime. And then we have stir fried garlic clams, lala, so nice also. This is what we're cooking now. And then sebelah belakang tu dia ada noodles lah, ada glutinous rice lah, thosai pun ada, soba pun ada. It's such a this one even chicken stock powder. Ni semua ada, including sweet stuff. Oh, I'm gonna grab the serving bowls. Hang on. Serving bowl. So I got thrown off a bit earlier when I couldn't find my dried shrimp. So lari skip my timing for prepping. Okay, and then I put my recipe here. So all of those recipe books you can buy from, if you're in Malaysia, you can buy from Thermomix Malaysia online store, but we can only deliver after the MCO. And if you're in Singapore, of course, you can order from Singapore online, or you can always ask your advisors. That's the importance of having an advisor, because your advisor can advise you, 1, how to get your Thermomix, 2, how to use your Thermomix, 3, all these little tips and for how to get all these accessories and cookbooks and whatnot. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying what you see so far. I still need input from you for my mom's birthday, which is on Tuesday. I still don't know what to cook for her. She wants me to, she's actually gonna pop in here and say hi to all of you. Stress. Oh, Judy, this one is called Tasty Asia. Tasty Asia. Oh, our chicken is done. Merci beaucoup. It looks so nice. This is my first time cooking this, okay? First time, because somehow, you know, in between the 57,000 recipes and all the cookbooks that I have, plus the 7,000 plus recipes from Malaysian recipe community, I kind of overlooked it. Somehow, I overlooked that recipe. So now it's good. I'm doing this and I'm trying new things with you. And you can see, even if you've never done something before, just follow the instructions step by step. Sure jadi punya. So nice. Our chicken korma. So wonderful. Ooh, and our veggie is also ready. And look at that. My chicken is nice and whole. They're not shredded a bit at all. So I'm just gonna show you. See, my chicken still whole. Very nice, right? Okay. I just have to be careful because I'm not using an apron. The mess, if any, would come from clumsiness, not from the actual cooking itself. And then I'm just gonna scrape all of these juicy, flavorful gravy, which contains cashew puree from roasted cashews that I pureed earlier, and also all of those spices, the ground coriander, the cardamom, the cumin. Smells so wonderful. And then this one, of course, we're gonna do pre-clean. I love pre-clean. Love pre-clean. Thank you for work for thinking of this. See, so easy. Okay, and then we, oh, I don't have anything to garnish it with. Never mind lah. But you see how beautiful our korma chicken is. So nice. And this is my first time doing it. And if you're fasting, you don't even have to taste because everything is already there. Cukup rasa semua, cukup masin, cukup apa semua. If you want, in fact, that's why I recommend that you get your Thermomix now, so that you can try what recipes you want to cook for Ramadan, and then you can tweak it according to your taste, so that by the time Ramadan comes, you don't have to taste any of your dishes anymore. And then I'm gonna take my veggie now. Again, oh yeah, this one I haven't taught you yet. Whenever you want to open your lid, you always flip like this. And then for TM5 users, you put the measuring cup here so that your counter will be clean. Okay? My mom is hiding somewhere, Leah. She knows I actually get very self-conscious when I'm doing the FB live, and I tell everybody to go out of the kitchen, not to listen to me. Believe it or not, I'm actually an introvert. So this is something that is really out of my comfort zone, and I've never done this. If not for the MCO, I wouldn't be doing this FB live. I've been planning this for a year, but I never got to do it until, you know, no choice, I had to do it. But I'm glad I did. I got to meet so many people from around the world. I meet people from Jakarta, from Riyadh, from Ireland, from Spain, even from Iraq. You know, if not for Thermomix, we won't be connected like this. It's so wonderful. And my veggie is nice, and again my bowl is nice, and I can do pre-wash here also. quite similar, except that I have to like reverse the blades every 10 seconds or so. So for those who have TM5, you can put water up just above the blade. That will be around 600 grams. And then you do 30 seconds, speed 8. Not 8, speed 6. And then every 10 seconds you reverse. So like that. And then 10 seconds, reverse. And you can hear it reversing. Yeah. And this one I'm going to throw away the water. And if there's any residue here, you can always take it off very easily with baking soda. And we're done. So this one also, so it pre-cleans so that there's less washing up for us. So this one is super clean. The one earlier had cashew puree and yogurt and whatnot, so it was quite understandable. But it already reduces the amount of time that you need to clean up. So that for me is already such a huge bonus. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Give this a try using the Tasty Asia cookbooks. And if you have any questions, any suggestions for future menus, I got one from, was it Izrin yesterday? She was requesting for cake. Okay, I will plan that one of these days. I'm gonna bake a cake, and then while it's baking, I'm gonna get another set that's already baked, and then I'm going to teach you how to do the filling, how to stack the cake, and then how to do crumb coat and do basic decoration. Sounds like fun, yeah? Or maybe, you know, I can get you to bake in advance so that while I decorate, you also decorate. Sounds good, yeah? So we can have like a virtual cake decorating lesson. Okay, so thank you so much for... Oh, you're welcome, Kamla. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you had fun just as I did. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen and in my home. Thank you for making the Thermomix the world's best super kitchen machine. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place at 6 o'clock. Thank you so much. To those who are celebrating Easter, have a blessed Easter. And to all my Muslim friends, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you tomorrow.